I think it's a mistake to call these meetings of the so-called coalition of the willing among European allies fruitless so far. They have been extremely significant in that these countries, led by the United Kingdom and Germany and France, have pledged to place their soldiers on the ground in Ukraine to deter future Russian attacks against Ukraine. And if you recall the beginning of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine back in February of 2022, European allies were very hesitant to even provide significant military assistance to Ukraine, fearing what Russia's reaction might be. Now they're willing to put their own troops on the ground, so put them at risk, and they're showing Russia, we're going to prevent you, we're going to stop you physically from being able to attack Ukraine and then move on into NATO territory without provoking a full-scale war, and we are not afraid of you. We're not afraid of your nuclear bluffing, your threats to use nuclear weapons. We are ready to fight you if need be. That is very compelling. And each of these meetings helps these European countries plan a bit more this extremely significant shift in the entire strategy of the transatlantic alliance since the end of World War II. The United States will play a key role. President Trump has said the United States will support this European coalition of the willing, not with U.S. soldiers on the ground, but with all sorts of other assistance. And the United States within NATO is essential for certain capabilities, for space-based capabilities, especially for intelligence and surveillance and reconnaissance, which means identifying threats on the battlefield and then targeting them and destroying those threats. The United States is also very important for its European allies in terms of providing airlift capability, so big aircraft that can move equipment and people around the battlefield and to the front if need be. And so the United States, I think, and the United States is also critical for air defense capabilities for its European allies. So President Trump, without getting too detailed, has made clear the United States will provide that sort of assistance. And so getting such a capability agreed and then built, or planned and then built, requires many, many meetings. So it's simply incorrect to say that the previous meetings of the coalition of the willing have been fruitless. No, the mere fact that they've taken place has sent a historic signal to Russia of a shift in geopolitical realities, and a strong sign of how President Putin miscalculated in thinking that if he invaded Ukraine, he could capture Kyiv in 4 days, and that Ukraine would surrender, and that Europe would be too afraid to resist. And instead, President Putin has seen an expansion of NATO, with Sweden and Finland joining, and unprecedented resolve in the history of post-World War II Europe, of the European allies to fight Russia if need be, on territory outside of NATO territory if Russia were to attack.